was easy.
There you go. Okay, Stacy, where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm in Colorado.
We're in Colorado.
Yes. Fort Collins.
Okay, never been there. Well, welcome.
Thanks.
Okay, so you said, I have a friend who's a financial planner and advisor, but he's having a problem reaching any audience. He's tried to host events, but no one shows up. He also has to be very careful what he says because of SEC regulations. He wants to reach medium business owners. How do you recommend he does this when he can't really say what he does because of SEC regulations? Um, how do you mean he can't say what he does?
So there's a lot of careful things he has to say. He can't just say like, "Hey, I can help you get stock, I can help you with the stock market and all of that stuff." Anything that has anything to do with money, he just kind of has to be like, "I can help you financial plan," and that's pretty much it. And that's just so broad that people are like, "I don't understand how you can help me, what you can do for me," or that kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. Um, there's a few thoughts that occur to me. So one is this might be the under the radar approach. It's like when people do, psychedelic therapy and it's illegal, and they can't talk about it for legal reasons or in that way. So here's another approach. I mean, doing presentations is kind of the best, but a close second is really working the referrals game. And so that would look something like this. Your friend says, okay, um, the people who I want to reach, who are they already being reached by? Where do they already hang out? So I've got, if you go to my product page, but I've got some ebooks and webinars. I've got an ebook and a webinar on hub marketing. So those are the ones I'd most recommend. And so you start to just map out like where would these people be found, right? And just for all of you, I mean, this is just hub marketing 101. And there's a few general categories that you think about, like one, what are the events they go to? Like, are there local meetup groups? Are there local entrepreneur groups, etc.? Are there locations where they tend to be, where they tend to frequent? Maybe there's like a coffee shop or a store where they tend to go. Is there media they follow online or offline? And that could be podcasts, that could be hashtags locally. There's often local business hashtags. Are there groups that they're a part of? Facebook groups, local groups, meetup groups? Are there complementary businesses that do things that are related and maybe web design, accountants, bookkeepers who don't want to do the kind of planning stuff, but they just, reconcile people's statements. There might be business coaches, etc. And then there might be competitive businesses, other financial planners who have other niches who wouldn't be interested in the same kind of clients that your friend works with. So, and then it's a one-on-one outreach. Is going for coffee and sussing it out. Is this person trustworthy? Are they going to snitch on me? Is there a good vibe here? And if there's a good vibe, then saying like, look, legally, this is what I do, but under the radar, I do this kind of thing. And if you ever have a client, if you ever run into somebody who could use help with this is my thing. And then there could be a cut that person gets. It could be a kind of finder's fee that they give the person, in thanks, or it could just be, referrals are exchanged, freely both ways, however it is. Is your friend working locally or online?
Locally.
Oh, great. Okay, so then locally, then you could also have your friend do something like a hubs gathering. And a hubs gathering would be you map out all these types of hubs, all these types of people, and they all get invited to a gathering where you just introduce yourselves to each other. And it's kind of like, look, we all reach the same type of person. The same kind of person needs our help. But we all do different things. I do the financial planning, you do the bookkeeping, you help people with their legal stuff, their will. You're in a local insurance company. I don't know, what are all the other services that people might need in relation to this? And I suppose it depends who they are, you know, who your friend's trying to reach. But then you just get together for like 3 hours and you say, look, it's a meet, or it could be shorter, but it's like we're gonna have an hour to half an hour of mingling, and we're gonna just get in a circle. Everyone's gonna have 2 minutes to share what they're up to, what they do, what's coming up next for them, and we'll mingle some more at the end. Uh, and then as you sit there listening to everybody speak, you know, you're circling the names of the people you want to follow up with. And then you become a hub within that. So under the radar, a lot can be done of just building these connections and relationships with the key people who would be the main sources of referrals anyways. And then figuring out, going to be different for each hub. What's the best way for them to connect you with their people? And they might even want to host an under the radar workshop where it's like, look, snitches get stitches, but I've got this person who's a great financial planner and they can help you with some stuff, you know, and you know, it's a good crew that you trust them, they trust you. You can get in and just do like a living room workshop for the people, that kind of thing. But yeah, if there's legal issues, it's really good to just, how do I build the one-on-one connections and then foster them, develop them over time, you know, stay in touch with them. That can be literally, and I would recommend just a Rolodex index cards, and they're just in order, and every day you drop a line to one of them. Next day, another one. You know, make a Facebook friends list with all of them on it. So you can just stay up to date on what's happening in their lives. But you just take care of those relationships. Host a party once a year, you know, for those people, and bring them together, build those connections, deepen the trust between you. Thank them. And this is a really important thing. Whenever you get referrals from people, thank them. It goes such a long way. I've been getting better at this with my live workshops, even asking, like in the last tour of the UK, how did you hear? And I didn't do it every time, but I put it as a part of my system is after the workshop, I just go through who they heard from and send them an email, say, hey, this and this person came to the workshop because of you. Thank you so much. It it really makes a difference in their willingness to promote you again. They might not even think about it. They might not be bitter about it, but they notice it when it happens. You know, that they want that good feeling again. So thanking people when they spread the word, big deal. And oh yeah, the other thing is, okay, when you're asking for referrals, this is a big topic. We spent a whole couple weeks on this in the hub marketing semester. But when you're meeting with somebody for referrals, now this could be an existing client or it could be a hub. I kind of recommend a two-stage conversation. Stage one is just you're asking them, can you think of anyone? And by the way, you ask them to sit down and talk to you about business. So it sounds something like this. It's like, look, I'm trying to grow my business. And I'm so terrible at marketing myself. I just feel stuck on where to even find people. And I thought you might have some ideas. Would you be willing to take 15, 20 minutes to make some time just to help me brainstorm? And most of the time, people are going to say yes, especially if there's some kind of good connection there. And then the first part of that conversation, you say, yeah, where do you think I could find these people? Like, here's who I'm trying to reach. This is my ideal client as best as I can figure it. Where would I find these people, right? And they just start sharing. And by the way, in the beginning, they'll say something like, I don't even know. And then they start talking. I guess there's this group. Oh, and that makes me think of this. And that makes me think of, you know, you'd be amazed. And you can also prompt them with those categories I gave. It's like, well, are there any groups that you know of in town? Are there any local podcasts? Is there a hashtag I'm missing? Is there some local meetup group? What about other businesses that do complementary things? Get like this or this. You see what I'm saying? If you start prompting it, oh yeah, right, this one. I mean, I sat down with my friend Ian. He was trying to figure out local hubs to promote an event. And when we sat down, I swear to God, he said, I don't really know a lot of people on this. So I got a list of like 5 or 6. And I said, open up your Facebook. Go through your friends list. Let's look at your DMs. Let's look, who did you text? Let's go into your inbox. You see what I'm saying? I just started pushing him. We had 75 names within an hour. And he thought like he'd tapped it out. But as he went, he was like, oh yeah, my God, this person, right. I can't believe I forgot this huge hub. So if you prompt them, you're more likely to get, and then once they get the momentum. But then number two is you say, is there anyone you can think of personally who might benefit from this? So this is the direct referral. Like, is there anyone who might actually want to hire me, not as a hub, but as a client? And again, you can start prompting, like, is there anyone you've worked with? Are there any of your clients? Is there any anyone you know in the community, family members? Is there anyone who comes to mind that you can prompt? And often once they get going, they'll get a few. And then you've got a direct thing. And then it's just a question of like, okay, with this person, what's the best way for me to be in touch with them? I mean, do you want to send an intro email? I mean, you can just give me their email, I'll email them and say I heard from you. Like what would feel best? Or we could invite them to this intro workshop I'm doing, etc. You just figure it out with them individually, what the approach is that will feel good. How does that all land for you?
Yeah, that makes sense. I know he does a lot of the referral networking and things like that. And I think that's working out okay with him, but he's trying to sort of reach a new audience because he's adding in a couple of new products like executive planning and some business solution stuff along with like as he pivots to business owners and stuff. So I think his referral networking he's been doing has been more like individual based, and as he's trying to go into more of the business space, it's not as productive as it was.
Yeah, it's the hubs thing. That's the most important thing. Figure out the hubs for the people, and then maybe different hubs for different offerings, different packages. So then you might go package by package, like what are the hubs for this one? What are the hubs for this one?
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
All right.
thanks.
You're welcome.